Tip City, Ohio. Population, just over 10,000. A place where neighbors still wave from porches, where kids ride bikes to school, where the biggest Friday night event is a volleyball game at the middle school. It was the kind of town where people still believed they knew who lived next door. But at 2:30 in the morning on February 16th, 2026, something shattered that peace permanently.
Oh my God.
Miami County, 911.
Oh my, somebody broke into my home. Somebody broke into my home and shot my wife. My wife she's got 2 shots to her head. There's blood everywhere. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
I think it's this one, Colin. No?
Corey?
Okay.
I checked this over here, nothing else.
Okay.
Are in the bedroom over there, they're still asleep.
Okay, have you checked on them?
The 911, yes. Right now, no one else comes in here, period.
No, every door.
No one.
Okay.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God.
Okay, sit. You want to sit down?
No.
Okay. Take a breath.
Is she gone?
Look at me. Look at me. Take a breath. Okay?
I can't.
Look at me. I need you to breathe, okay?
Try not to touch much. What do I do with my daughters? What do I do with my daughters?
Right now.
319.
Right now, I need you to breathe, okay? Are these okay?
It's fine.
Okay. Come on, honey.
Did your squad look at you? I mean, you think you just want to just look at him?
The girls don't know. The girls are sleeping. Can I take? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do either. I'm just I'm in shock. Yeah, I think maybe.
Do you want to sit down on the steps?
If you have a blanket, can you get him a
Yep.
blanket?
Yep.
Till I heard and I froze, and then I ran, and the door to the garage was wide open, and then I.
She's sound asleep. You know, she knew.
She told me to sleep on the couch because I was coughing. I shouldn't have listened.
The man on that call was 39-year-old Caleb Flynn, a former church music pastor, a former American Idol contestant, a husband, a father of 2. Within 82 hours, he would be in handcuffs. Because what investigators would uncover behind that frantic phone call behind the staged scene, behind the shattered marriage, was darker than almost anyone in that town was prepared to believe. Before we talk about what happened inside that house on Cunningham Court, you need to know who Ashley Flynn was. Because her story doesn't begin with her death. It begins with a life that was, by every account, genuinely extraordinary in the most ordinary, beautiful way. Ashley Flynn was 37 years old. She was 8 days away from turning 38. She was born and raised in Tip City. A 2006 graduate of Tippecanoe High School, the very school district she would go on to serve as a teacher and coach. She went on to earn her degree in 2010 from Lee University, a private Christian university in Cleveland, Tennessee. She came home to Ohio with a purpose. B-roll, volleyball players warming up, teachers in a classroom, soft focus school imagery, season change, autumn leaves, school buses. Ashley became a teacher, then a coach. For the past year before her death, she had been serving as a teacher at LifeWise Academy, a Tip City non-profit that provides weekly Bible-based lessons to public school students off campus. She also worked as a substitute teacher for Tip City schools and coached 7th grade girls volleyball at Tippecanoe Middle School. Before that, she had served as a staff member at the Christian Life Center Church in nearby Butler Township. Faith wasn't peripheral to Ashley's life, it was central to it. She was also a mother. She and her husband Caleb had 2 daughters, both of elementary school age. By all outward appearances, the Flynn family was rooted, active in their church, known in their neighborhood, good people. But something had been shifting beneath the surface, something that, in retrospect, the people closest to Ashley say they had begun to sense. A quiet tension, a distance, the kind of fracture that appears so slowly you almost don't notice it until the whole thing breaks. Ashley, according to those who loved her, was not someone who showed weakness easily. She carried things. She smiled through things. She encouraged others while quietly holding her own weight. There is an alleged text message, one that investigators reportedly recovered, in which Ashley is said to have written only 3 words. We don't know exactly when she sent that message or to whom, but it paints a picture of a woman who was quietly drowning, even as the rest of the world saw only her smile. Caleb Flynn was, to anyone watching, a man who had it all together. He was 39 years old, charismatic, musical. He'd even had a brief moment in the national spotlight. In 2013, Caleb appeared on season 12 of American Idol. During his hometown interview, he was asked what made him unique. His answer became notable, for all the wrong reasons, after his arrest.
Caleb Flynn. I'm from Tip City, Ohio, and I love to sing, so that's why I auditioned. Maybe my wife kind of nudged me a little bit too. My first thought when I got my golden ticket, honestly, all I could do was cover my face because I cried a little bit. I'm kind of a crybaby. I get it from my mom and my dad.
He loved his wife more than anything. He said it on national television. Caleb served as a music pastor. He led worship. He stood in front of a congregation and sang about grace, about love, about the sacred bonds of faith and family. And by all outward appearances, he lived that life. But there is a version of Caleb Flynn that was never shown from the stage, a version that investigators would begin to piece together in the days after Ashley's death. And that version, if the allegations are proven true, tells a very different story. Sunday, February 15th, 2026 was an ordinary evening in Tip City. Families wrapped up their weekends. Kids were put to bed. The neighborhood of Cunningham Court settled in for the night. Inside the Flynn home, a house on the 900 block of that quiet street where the family had lived for 4 or 5 years, 2 young daughters were asleep in their rooms. 2 golden doodle dogs were inside the house, and Ashley Flynn was in bed in the master bedroom. Her husband, Caleb, would later tell police he had a cough that night and had gone to sleep in the living room. According to information from alleged leaked court documents that have circulated widely, though not officially confirmed by Ohio authorities, at 12:42 in the morning, a text message was allegedly sent from Caleb Flynn's phone to a woman whose identity investigators reportedly sought to establish. The message, as widely reported, was short. 3 words. Again, investigators have not officially confirmed the content of this message or the identity of its recipient as of the time of this production. But the alleged existence of this message and what it may imply about intent became one of the most chilling details to emerge from this case. 2:30 a.m., February 16th, 2026, at approximately 2:30 in the morning, a call came into Tip City Emergency Dispatch. A male caller, later identified as Caleb Flynn, reported a burglary in progress at their home on Cunningham Court. When dispatch asked if Ashley was breathing, Caleb's voice cracked. He told dispatchers the garage door was wide open. He said he didn't know if the intruder was still inside. He begged them to hurry. His daughters were in the house. Officers were dispatched immediately. 2:40 a.m. The scene. Ashley Flynn was pronounced dead at the scene. She was 37 years old. She had 8 days until her birthday. A shift supervisor relayed what he was seeing to department leadership by phone. The 2 Flynn daughters had not woken up. They were still in their rooms, asleep, unaware their mother was gone. Caleb told police his version of events. He said he had a cough and had been sleeping in the living room. Body camera footage released by police later revealed another detail he told officers at the scene, that Ashley herself had asked him to sleep on the couch that night. His words to officers captured on camera: "I shouldn't have listened." He said the family's dogs woke him up, but he assumed it was one of his daughters who had gotten up, so he went and lay down in her bedroom. He said he didn't know how long it was before he heard a gunshot. He said he froze. And when he finally got up, he found the garage side door open, and Ashley dead in the master bedroom. It was the story of a man who heard nothing until it was too late. A man who was in the wrong room at the wrong time. A man who had no idea. But here is what the crime scene was already telling investigators before the sun even came up. Point 1. The garage side door, the alleged entry point of the supposed intruder, had a large refrigerator pushed directly in front of it. According to the court affidavit, that refrigerator would have had to be physically pushed out of the way for anyone to enter through that door. There was no evidence that any intruder had done so. Point 2. The handgun. Caleb had told police he kept a 9mm handgun in the center console of his 2024 Ford pickup truck, which was parked in the garage. That console was found open. The gun was missing, and Ashley Flynn had been shot with a 9mm. Point 3. The shell casings. 2 9mm shell casings were recovered from the bedroom floor near the foot of the bed. Ashley was found in bed. Shot in the head. Twice. Point 4. The children. The 2 Flynn daughters, both elementary school age, had not woken up at any point during the incident. Not during a supposed home invasion. Not during gunshots. Not during their father's alleged frantic response. A home invasion in the middle of the night, with 2 gunshots, and no one else in the house woke up. The Tip City Police Department, the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation, and the FBI all saw what was in front of them. And by the time the sun came up over Cunningham Court on February 16th, 2026, the investigation had already turned in a very specific direction. Within hours of Ashley Flynn's death, the Tip City Police Department had reached out to the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation to send an evidence processing team. The FBI would follow. The Miami County Sheriff's Office and Miami County Prosecutor's Office were all brought in. This was not treated as a standard home invasion. It was treated as something else entirely. At 5:54 in the morning, just a few hours after officers first responded, Tip City Police Chief Greg Adkins issued his first press release, confirming Ashley Flynn's identity and the opening of a homicide investigation. Later that week, as the community began asking questions, the department issued a statement that, reading between the lines, said a great deal. Targeted at this specific residence. Not a random burglary. Not a stranger. Targeted. While investigators worked, Tip City was in collective grief. The community tied ribbons in Ashley's memory. The school district released a statement that barely contained its heartbreak. On the morning of February 16th at 11:05 a.m., Pastor Jordan Hanson of the Christian Life Center, the Flynn family's church in Butler Township, addressed his congregation. A beloved member of our church, devoted servant of Jesus, and wife, mum, daughter, and so many other roles she filled with grace, devotion, and unconditional love, was murdered in her home. Ashley Flynn is with Jesus. Please pray for her husband and 2 daughters and extended family left behind. Pastor Jordan Hanson, Christian Life Center, February 16th, 2026. Pray for her husband. And on February 24th. What should have been Ashley's 38th birthday? Her friends and family gathered. Not to celebrate, to hold each other. To remember the woman they loved. 82 hours after Ashley was found, shot dead in her own bed, Caleb Flynn walked into the Tip City Police Department with another man. He may have believed it was another voluntary interview. It wasn't. The man accompanying Caleb, apparently a supporter, reacted immediately when police announced the arrest. On what evidence? Unidentified man accompanying Caleb Flynn during arrest, February 19th, 2026. Officers declined to discuss it. There's no evidence. Unidentified man. As Flynn was handcuffed, Caleb Flynn was handcuffed. The man hugged him and told him to be strong. Caleb was led through the station. At one point, he turned to a detective and asked, simply, what changed? He was booked into the Miami County Jail at 5:07 p.m. on February 19th, 2026. The charges, 1 count of murder, 2 counts of felonious assault with a deadly weapon, 2 counts of tampering with evidence. The following morning, February 20th, Caleb Flynn appeared via video from the Miami County Jail for his arraignment before Judge Samuel Huffman. He pleaded not guilty to all charges. His bond was set at $2 million. In that brief courtroom appearance, Caleb said something that many who watched found striking. I just want to take care of my daughters. I'm not a risk. Caleb Flynn, arraignment, February 20th, 2026. His attorney, L. Patrick Mulligan of Dayton's Mormon and Mulligan law firm, pushed back on the investigation's timeline with force. We are both disappointed and concerned about the short timeline and seeming rush to judgment in this case. When the government runs out of leads, or can't develop leads, and looks at a surviving spouse in cases such as these, the chance of a wrongful conviction increases. L. Patrick Mulligan, defense attorney for Caleb Flynn. Chief Adkins responded directly, not to argue, but to clarify. This investigation has not moved fast. Rather, it has progressed at a pace dictated by a thorough and deliberate investigative process. Chief Greg Adkins, Tip City Police Department, 82 hours. The police had made their decision, and now the case would move toward trial. Now, to the part of this story that has gripped people not just in Tip City, but across the country. The part that the title of this video is built on. And I want to be very clear before we go here. What I'm about to walk you through is based on information that has circulated widely online, reportedly drawn from court documents and investigative materials. As of the time of this production, Ohio authorities have not officially confirmed or denied these specific details. We present them because they are part of the public conversation around this case, but we will not present them as established fact. With that said, this is what is being alleged. According to alleged leaked court documents shared widely on social media and reported by multiple outlets, investigators reportedly recovered deleted messages from Caleb Flynn's phone that allegedly confirmed a months-long extramarital relationship between Caleb and a woman he had met through their shared church, the Christian Life Center. According to these reports, investigators noted what was described as heavy communication between Caleb and this woman, communication that reportedly intensified dramatically in the period immediately leading up to the night of February 16th. And then, according to these same alleged court documents, there was that text message, sent at 12:42 a.m., less than 2 hours before Ashley Flynn was shot in her own bed. It's almost done. Alleged text, 12:42 a.m., February 16th, 2026. If that message means what it appears to mean, if investigators are right about the context, then the woman who allegedly received that message at 12:42 in the morning allegedly knew what was about to happen. And she did nothing. Social media exploded. Comments poured in across every platform. We want to be clear, no charges have been filed against any third party. These are public reactions, not legal conclusions. And the identity of the woman who allegedly received that message, while named extensively in online reporting, has not been officially confirmed by authorities as of the time of this production. A few days after Caleb's arrest, the Christian Life Center Church held a service. Pastor Hansen, the same man who had asked his congregation to pray for Caleb Flynn the morning Ashley was found dead, now addressed something different. Without directly naming anyone or addressing specific rumors, he acknowledged what the congregation was already discussing. He shared that a worship leader on his staff had submitted her resignation, without giving a reason, and he made a pointed request to his congregation. Pull quote from Pastor Hansen's February 28, 2026 address. Resist the temptation to speculate or gossip. Unfounded rumors only make things worse. Pastor Jordan Hansen, Christian Life Center, February 28, 2026. The woman named in online speculation, a 23-year-old worship leader who had served at the church and who social media users widely identified as having performed alongside Caleb Flynn on stage, had by that point quietly removed all of her social media profiles. Her Instagram, her Facebook, all of it gone. Whether that decision was advised by legal counsel, made out of fear, or represented personal accountability, we don't know. What we know is that by early March of 2026, she had disappeared from the digital landscape entirely. Her name has been widely reported. We have chosen not to amplify that name here, because as of this production, she has not been charged with any crime. The significance of the alleged phone and text evidence, if verified in court, cannot be overstated. And to understand exactly why, you need to know how Ohio law works. Caleb Flynn is currently charged with murder under Ohio Revised Code 2903.02, which requires the prosecution to prove that he purposely caused Ashley's death. That charge does not require premeditation. It requires intent, purpose, a deliberate act. But Ohio has a second, more serious charge sitting above that. Aggravated murder under ORC 2903.01, which requires what Ohio law calls prior calculation and design. That is Ohio's equivalent of a planned premeditated killing. Aggravated murder carries life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, or in the most serious cases, the death penalty. Caleb has not been charged with aggravated murder yet. But if investigators can authenticate that 12:42 a.m. text message, if they can prove that communication with another person was happening in the hours before Ashley died, if they can establish that this killing was not a sudden act but a calculated one, those elements could support an upgrade to the most serious charge Ohio law allows. A text message sent at 12:42 a.m., less than 2 hours before a fatal shooting that was then staged to look like a home invasion, would, if authenticated, be among the most powerful pieces of evidence a grand jury could consider. Combine that with the recovered phone records, the intensified communication leading up to that night, the staging evidence, the missing gun, the blocked door, and you begin to understand why law enforcement moved as decisively as they did. 82 hours. It wasn't a rush. It was a reckoning. In the rush to cover the crime, the arrest, the allegations, and the investigation, it can be easy to lose sight of what, and who, is really at the center of this story. So let's come back to her. Ashley Flynn was not a victim in a cautionary tale. She was a person, a full, vivid, loved person, who happened to be killed. She was the girl from Tip City who came home, who coached volleyball because she wanted to pour into young people the same way others had poured into her, who substituted in classrooms because she believed in showing up for kids who needed a consistent face, who sang in church not for performance, but for worship, who raised 2 daughters while also holding what we now believe was a privately breaking heart. Ashley was known as a shining light of joy to all who crossed her path, effortlessly encouraging others along the way. Ashley Flynn's obituary. Her family, in their public statement, said something that has stayed with me. They said Ashley brought endless light to our world. And then they said this: "We are clinging to our faith, just as Ashley did each and every day." Ashley Flynn's family. Official statement. Even in their grief, even in their incomprehensible loss, they clung to the thing Ashley built her life around, because that was who she was. Her daughters are now growing up without her. They were sleeping in that house when their mother was killed. They will carry that forever. A GoFundMe established in their names had by early March 2026 raised over $166,000 from more than 1,400 donors. Strangers who never met Ashley, but who understood that those little girls needed to know the world hadn't abandoned them. Ashley Flynn deserved a divorce lawyer. She deserved a custody battle. She deserved to be angry, to grieve her marriage, to start over, to coach volleyball on Tuesday evenings, and watch her daughters grow up. She deserved all of that. She got 2 bullets instead. As of early March 2026, Caleb Flynn remains in the Miami County Jail on a $2 million bond. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges. His preliminary hearing, the proceeding at which the court will determine whether there is probable cause for the case to proceed to trial, and if so, refer the case to a county grand jury, was originally scheduled for February 26th, then rescheduled to March 26th, 2026 at 1 p.m. in Miami County Municipal Court. That hearing is a critical, early step toward whatever verdict awaits. On March 2nd, Tip City Police released body camera footage from the night of the shooting. In it, with the interior of the home redacted, Caleb Flynn can be heard in a state of apparent distress, crying, struggling to breathe, at times hyperventilating. He can be seen speaking with arriving officers, eventually leaving the residence as a family member arrives. His defense attorney continues to maintain that this investigation moved too quickly. that conclusions were drawn before the full picture had been established. That is his right, and it will be tested in court. But here is what is not in dispute. Ashley Flynn is dead. She was 37 years old. She was shot in her own bed in her own home in the middle of the night while her daughters slept. Her husband was in that house. The weapon used was his gun. The supposed entry point was physically blocked. He has been charged with murder, 2 counts of felonious assault with a deadly weapon and 2 counts of tampering with evidence. And according to information widely reported but not officially confirmed, a text message reading, "It's almost done," was sent from his phone less than 2 hours before her death. The full truth of what happened inside that house on Cunningham Court in the early hours of February 16th, 2026, the full truth of what was said, what was planned, who knew what and when, that truth will be told in a courtroom, under oath, with evidence. And when that day comes, we will be there to cover it. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. Ashley Flynn's story deserves to be told carefully, completely, and with the respect she is owed. We will continue to follow this case as it develops. If this video moved you, share it. Not to spread outrage, but to make sure Ashley's name is remembered, not as a victim, as the person she was. Subscribe to the exhibit file, drop a comment below, and please hold the people you love a little tighter tonight.